There I was on the big screen without clothes, whimpering submissively in high fantasy. My boss's hands all over me. My mother-in-law screamed. The children cried. My husband just stood there stone still like his soul had left his body. That was my son's birthday and the day my life blew up in front of everyone I loved. I don't even know where to start. Maybe from the shame. Or maybe from the moment I realized I had destroyed everything good in my life for a few minutes of feeling wanted. Hello friends, welcome to Soulbound Stories, where we bring to you natural, emotional, and realistic stories. If this is your first time of coming across, please turn on notification button, and do well to like this video. It gives us more strength to bring new stories, and to our returning subscribers, thank you for stopping by. My name is Abigail. I live in Melbourne. I was a wife, a mother, a team leader at a retail company. To most people, I had the perfect life. But I had secrets. And secrets, when exposed, rot faster than anything you can imagine. Hayden was my boss. Tall, confident, married, but kind to me in ways Donald, my husband, had stopped being. After 13 years, Donald barely touched me. Always tired. Always working. Always watching the news or sleeping on the couch. Hayden noticed the things Donald didn't. My new lipstick. My perfume. The way I'd skip lunch just to finish my reports. He'd smile, drop little compliments, stay late when I had deadlines. It started with harmless chats. Then after a Friday meeting we shared wine. Then a kiss in his car. Then one night, we booked a room in a cheap motel and crossed a line we couldn't uncross. I want to remember this, Hayden whispered as he grabbed his phone. I laughed. It felt exciting. Stupid, I know. But at that moment I felt seen. He sent me the video the next day. I should have deleted it. But I didn't. Fast forward to 3 months. It was Theodore's 10th birthday. My only child. A sweet, curious boy who loved gadgets. He'd asked me to copy photos and videos from my phone to his flash drive, so he could make a slideshow for his party. He handed me the tiny USB stick the night before. I was tired. Distracted. I told him to plug it into the laptop and I'd send the files. I clicked transfer all. Not even thinking. That video was still on my phone. The next day the house was full. Guests, balloons, music. Laughter. Kids running around. Donald actually smiled. It was one of those rare days where things felt normal. Then Theodore stood up and said, I want to show my slideshow. We gathered in the living room. I was holding the cake, waiting behind everyone, smiling with pride. The screen lit up. Photos of him as a baby, his drawings, school awards. Then darkness. A pause. Then moaning. Someone giggled. At first, people thought it was part of the video. Until my naked body appeared. My face. My voice. Me. And Hayden. On the bed. Doing what no child should ever see. What no husband should ever witness. What no guest should ever be forced to watch. I dropped the cake. I couldn't breathe. Kids screamed. Adults gasped. My sister rushed to unplug the TV. Someone cursed. My mother-in-law fainted. And Donald just stared.
No hay. No tears.
Just a kind of dead silence that cut deeper than yelling ever could. He turned to Theodore, picked him up and left the room. Didn't say a word. I ran to my room and locked the door. I screamed into a pillow until my voice cracked. My phone blew up with texts and calls. I didn't answer any. My head throbbed. My heart broke. How could I let this happen? How could I hurt my son like this? How could he find that video? But he didn't mean to, did he? He's just a kid. He didn't know. But still, he destroyed me. The days after were worse. Donald moved out. Filed for divorce without speaking to me. The video went viral in our neighborhood group chat. Someone must have recorded the scene on their phone. Maybe one of the older kids. Within 24 hours it was everywhere. I was the cheating wife. The mum from hell. The disgusting woman who showed adult film at her son's birthday. Then came Angela, Hayden's wife. She showed up at my office, slapped me in front of everyone, called me trash, said I ruined her family. She called my boss a pig and promised to sue both of us for emotional damage. The next day I was fired. Unprofessional behavior. Negative attention to the company. Blah blah blah. Hayden ghosted me, blocked me, told HR I had seduced him and forced him into an affair. He saved his skin, left me to rot. Now I sit here, in a quiet house that used to feel like home. My son's toys still in the corner, his pictures on the wall, but his laughter? Gone. I haven't seen Theodore in weeks. The only message I got from him said, "Mom, I'm sorry I didn't know, please don't be mad." I wanted to hold him, tell him it's okay. But truth is, I was mad. Mad at myself. Mad at him. Mad at everyone. I ruined my marriage. I lost my son. And I couldn't blame anyone but myself. The silence after Shane isn't peaceful. Scratches inside you. It whispers what you did, over and over, until you start to believe you were born broken. The day after the party, I stayed in my room for almost 36 hours. I didn't eat. I didn't shower. I didn't speak. The phone rang nonstop. From friends. From Donald's family. Even from reporters. And I just stared at the screen. You know what's worse than being hated? Being exposed. Not only did I lose my husband and son, I became a headline. Birthday party turns X-rated. Mom caught in adult tape scandal. My name trended. My face was blurred in some videos, but others, they showed everything. Even the sound of my voice moaning my voice became a viral meme. God, I wanted to disappear. Hayden didn't even try to fix it. He sent me a message. You told me it was deleted. How dare you, Abby? I stared at those words like they were poison. I told him it was deleted. I trusted him. I thought he cared. He ghosted after that. No calls. No texts. He changed his number, left his position at the company, and moved to Sydney like nothing happened. And I was left behind, naked to the world. Then came the email from Angela, his wife. It wasn't even long. You disgust me, you destroyed 3 families. I hope you rot. Attached is the divorce papers she filed against Hayden. She cursed me, she wanted me to see what I have done, and I did. I tried apologizing to Donald. I wrote a long letter, poured my guts out, admitted everything. How I felt invisible. How I missed being desired. How I hated myself every second of the affair but kept going because Hayden made me feel seen. I dropped it off at his parents' house. 2 days later, the letter came back unopened. He didn't even want to hear my side. I deserved that too. But what broke me most wasn't Donald, or Hayden, or the public shame. It was Theo, my son. He hadn't called me Mum since the party. We hadn't even spoken. Leah, Donald's sister, told me he was having nightmares. That he asked questions like, why was Mum with that other man? And did she not love us? I couldn't breathe when I heard that. Because how do you explain adult sins to a child? You can't. You just break them. One night I opened Theo's iPad. I don't even know why. I guess I missed him. I wanted to see the games he played, the drawings he made. And there it was in the Notes app. A little scribble, probably typed by mistake. Or maybe not. I didn't mean to show them, I didn't know it was inappropriate file. I just wanted them to see my baby photos. Now Daddy cries every night. I dropped the iPad and fell to the floor. I screamed so loud that my neighbor knocked on the wall. I had blamed him, my own son. I hated him for exposing me. But he was just a child trying to celebrate his birthday. I had destroyed his innocence. I called Leah that night. Told her everything. I need help. I sobbed. I can't live like this anymore. I don't even know who I am. To my surprise, she didn't yell or hang up. She said, "Then let's start fixing you." The next few weeks were a blur of therapy appointments, women's support groups, and long walks alone by the sea. I stopped wearing makeup. I threw away all my fancy dresses, the ones Hayden used to compliment. I got a job at a bookstore in town. Part-time. Quiet. No one there cared who I was. No one whispered. They just handed me books and asked if I had read anything good lately. It was the first peace I'd felt in months. One afternoon, as I was closing up the store, Donald walked in. My breath caught in my throat. He looked tired, thinner, but still sharp, still beautiful in that quiet, dependable way. He didn't say hi. He walked up, looked me in the eye and said, "Theo cried himself to sleep last night. Said he missed you. Said he hated what you did, but he still wanted to see his mom." My heart cracked open. "I am sorry," I whispered. Donald nodded. "You are still his mother, Abby, but you need to earn your place back in his life. One step at a time. Clean yourself up. Henry will see you next Sunday. 1 hour supervised." And then he left. I cried that entire night, because for the first time since the nightmare began, there was a tiny light, a moment of hope. Maybe I couldn't fix what I destroyed, but maybe, just maybe, I could be someone Theo could still be proud of one day. Why did Mom did it? That was the first question my son asked me on our first supervised visit, and I had no answer that made any sense. I just stared at him and broke. The room was bright, full of toys and awkward silence. A supervisor sat a few feet away, pretending to scroll her phone while watching every move. Theo wouldn't look at me. He just played with a blue Hot Wheels car. Back and forth. Back and forth. I said, "You've gotten taller." No response. I tried again. "Still love cars?" He shrugged. "Not really." I smiled anyway. "You used to race them down the stairs. You remember." He looked at me now, eyes full of a mix of confusion, pain, and something that cut deeper than hate, disappointment. Then came the words that haunted me. "Why did you make that video?" I wanted to lie. Say it was a mistake. Say I didn't know. Say anything to save myself. But I didn't. Instead, I knelt down and whispered, because I was selfish, and I hurt everyone I love. He didn't say anything after that. Just stood up and walked to the window. The supervisor gently called time. Before he left, Theo looked back and said, "Daddy cries too. He misses when we were all together." I held my chest as if I could stop my heart from shattering again. That night, I looked at myself in the mirror. Really looked. I didn't recognize the woman staring back. She had dark circles, a hollow face, a messy bun and old jumper. Not the sexy, flirty, put-together woman Hayden used to flirt with in the office kitchen. This woman was tired, broken, real. But for the first time, I didn't look away. I whispered to her, "You don't get to give up." 3 weeks passed. I saw Theo again. This time he smiled once, then twice, then asked if I'd read him a book. I brought Where the Wild Things Are. He laughed at the monster voices I made. The supervisor smiled at us, and for the first time she didn't feel like a guard. She felt like hope. Then came the letter. From Angela, Hayden's wife. Handwritten. No lawyer this time. I thought hating you would make me feel better. It didn't. I thought destroying you would fix my pains. It didn't. I lost my husband, you lost your family. I don't forgive you, Abigail. But I do understand you. Women like us, we don't just wake up one day and cheat. We rot slowly. We disappear inside marriages where we feel invisible. I just want you to know. I see you now, and I hope you never go back to being invisible again. I cried holding that letter, not because I deserved it, but because someone finally understood what I couldn't say out loud. One rainy afternoon, I got a surprise visit at the bookstore. Donald. He stood by the register, holding a copy of The Alchemist. You still love this one? He asked casually. I nodded. Always. He leaned on the counter. Theo said he wants to come over for dinner. He asked if I'd be there too. My heart stopped. Do you want to be there? I asked, barely able to breathe. He looked down, then up. I'm not coming back, Abigail. Not as your husband. I nodded. I know. But I'll come as Theo's dad. And your friend. If you still want me around. I almost collapsed from the weight of those words. Friends? I asked, half laughing, half crying. He smiled. Let's start there. The dinner was quiet but full. Theo helped me set the table. Donald brought his famous lamb chops. We didn't talk about the past. We just were. Like old times, but wiser. After they left, Theo hugged me at the door. Tighter this time. He whispered, next time can I stay the night? I nodded, biting my lip to hold back tears. Yes, sweetheart. Any time. That night, I lay in bed and realized I wasn't the villain anymore. I was just a woman who made terrible choices, but who finally started choosing herself. And her son. And her truth. Not a fantasy. Not a fling. But real life. Messy. Painful. Beautiful. Infidelity isn't just a betrayal of a partner. It's a betrayal of who you promised to be. For your children, your family, and yourself. You may feel invisible, unloved, or bored. But cheating won't fill the hole. It'll dig it deeper. If something is broken, fix it. If it can't be fixed, walk away. But don't destroy the people who trust you just to feel alive. Because the guilt, it stays. And the scars, they show up in your child's eyes. If this story touched you, please subscribe, comment your thoughts, and share it. Someone needs to hear this. Someone who's standing at that same crossroad right now. Thanks for watching.